We are the Church of the Larger Fellowship, a Unitarian Universalist congregation with no geographical boundaries. We believe in cultivating curiosity and transformation that is rooted in profound love.
For over 85 years, the ministries of the Church of the Larger Fellowship have circled the globe and crossed the walls of prisons. We are a spiritual lifeline for our over 2,000 members in prison, who are also connected to individual Unitarian Universalists through our letter-writing ministry.
In our online community, we offer weekly worship, classes, and groups. Our monthly magazine, Quest, supports the spiritual lives of thousands around the globe. We know better than anyone how deep and meaningful connections can be formed even from a distance.
We are proud to be a leader in this faith movement, and we invite you to get involved in our ministry. We strive to be a place where anyone from anywhere can find spiritual refuge anytime they need it. Welcome to the Church of the Larger Fellowship.
We are so excited to bring you an all-new episode of the Voices of Unitarian Universalism, known affectionately as The View.
The View is a weekly Unitarian Universalist talk show discussing important faith-based topics from an anti-racist, anti-oppressive, and multicultural perspective.
Since 2013, we have gathered every Thursday from September to June to welcome guests from around the world.
Our guests are writers, scholars, activists, and religious thought leaders who are shaping Unitarian Universalism and society for the 21st century and beyond.
We hope that today's show inspires you. We hope it builds your faith and gives you perspective to see the power of Unitarian Universalism at work in your life.
Welcome to The View.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Greetings, beloveds. You have made it back. We have made it back for another episode of the Voices of Unitarian Universalism, which we love to call The View. I'm the Reverend Dr. Michael Tino, one of the two lead ministers of the Church of the Larger Fellowship, this Unitarian Universalist congregation without borders or walls, that has brought you this talk show every Thursday. 495 episodes over 13 years.
Wow.
And we are hurtling rapidly like a meteor, crashing to Earth, flamingly, toward the end of our 13th season, which will be in June. We will take the summer off and return in September, beloveds. And we are really working hard to get you live episodes every Thursday between now and when we take our summer hiatus. It is a cold, rainy Thursday here in Peekskill, New York, the land of the Kitchewan, Wappinger, and Munsee Lenape peoples. It was 96 degrees here on Tuesday, and it is 60 and raining today. And I don't know who to file my complaint with. That I just really need a couple weeks where it's 75.
Right?
But if you let me know where to file my complaint, I will file it. All I know is she's not listening to me right now. Mother Nature, Goddess Gaia is not. Her complaint box is full.
Perimenopause is brutal, dude.
Her complaint box is full. So
hot flashes, cold flashes, bad moods, storms all the time. Oh, it's real.
How are you up there in Maine, DC?
Same as you. I got Aisha's leftover weather, rainy and 60 and cloudy. Yesterday it was so warm. It was like 90 outside during the day. I rode my electric bike to work. It was awesome, especially because it's electric in the way that I don't actually have to pedal. I just sit on it and it goes 20 miles an hour, which I really appreciate. So here in Maine, I am Reverend D.C. Fortune, and I serve our congregation at the First Universalist Church of Auburn, Maine, Unitarian Universalist. And here on the banks of the Androscoggin River, so named for the people who originally inhabited this valley when the colonizers came, and home to the wider Abenaki Confederacy of Nations. Like I want Aisha to come get her weather. Clearly, it is drunk and on the wrong coast. And I don't necessarily need Texas's weather either right away. I would just like
Had that.
normal weather. Like, oh, and my lilacs are just about to bloom, and so are my forsythias. I didn't know I had a forsythia until I mowed yesterday and Tuesday, and I was very, very excited to see that the first of the flowers are coming. Very, very cool. Dante, how are things over there in the Windy City?
Well, I don't know if spring is losing. I don't know if Mother Nature is like looking at the political climate is like, I'm matching fucking energy. I don't know what's happening. But over here in the Midwest, in the land of the Council of Three Fires, the Ottawa, the Ojibwe, and the Potawatomi people, also known as Chicago, Illinois, it is 55 degrees. It feels like 49.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, and again, I don't need like 73. Like can we get a week or two of 73?
It'd be perfect.
I don't need more than that. I like spring weather. Like that's my thing. So
spring and fall are awesome.
But I don't know if Mother Nature was like looking at the political climate and was like, okay, bitch, let's play. I think she's matching energy. She was like, y'all want to be all chaotic and shit? Okay, cool. Let's do it.
I can do that. Buckle up, kids. Oh, Jesus.
She's like, you want to fuck with the Voting Rights Act? Take this.
Right?
55 degrees in May.
Yeah,
like on the record, you see 1207, and it was me. So
no, it was Dante.
Oh, Dante said
it. Fuck?
Dante said it just a minute ago at 1206.
Well, oh, wow. I didn't even hear it.
For those of you who are new to the voice,
I think Dante was quoting Mother Nature and saying, I'll meet your energy.
For those of you who are new to the Voices of Unitarian Universalism, we are both salty and spicy here on The View. We do not police language. In fact, we fully subscribe to scientific studies that say that actually using explicit language and getting it out of your system is good for your health.
Profanity is good for your blood pressure.
So we fully subscribe to that here at the Church of the Larger Fellowship. And we use all the words that we don't use in worship when we come together on the Voices of Unitarian Universalism. Because we do believe in there being some space that's sacred.
All spaces are sacred, Michael.
Yeah, and this is sacred too. But yeah, as I told my father, it was like, "Ooh, you in that bad language, those bad words." I'm like, this is called verbal punctuation.
See, it is sunny and in the low 70s in Seattle, says Leilani. And
I want my weather back.
We'd like you to share, please.
I want my weather back.
Not that I mind.
Yours is here. Mine is there. Come get it. So. But yeah, so anyway, you were saying that every week I make it a little sort of habit to mark who among us is the first to say fuck in an episode and what time that happens.
And now we've all said it, and we can move on.
Yeah,
we can move on.
So we are presuming to talk about justice today. We are dedicating one of our episodes every month to the theme, the Church of the Larger Fellowship's theme of the month. And our 12 themes include the 7 shared values of Unitarian Universalism. And justice is one of the shared values. And to quote our shared value language, we work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all thrive. We covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression. We support the use of inclusive democratic processes to make decisions, blah, 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 blah. So that is our shared value of justice that we are basing our theme on, though we don't necessarily have to stop with our shared values. And I do want to say, if you're new to Unitarian Universalism, because people do find Unitarian Universalism through the voices of Unitarian Universalism. Dante, we know you did in part, and we're so glad. We're like, I thank my stars every day that you turned in and said, "Oh, these people are saying fuck a lot. This might be the religion for me."
My kind of people.
If you're new to
That's
Unitarian
right.
Universalism, I want to start because I'm like, this is like a burr that is under my saddle. This week, for various reasons that I'm not going to get into, I'm going to start with just the basics that Unitarian Universalism is an actual religion
Yeah.
with an actual set of shared values and an
Right.
actual covenant. We
Right.
come together differently than many religions do because we do not mandate a shared set of beliefs, right? So we actually believe different things, and we put those shared values and that covenant into action in the world in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
We are actually a fucking religion.
Well, yeah, the IRS says so.
So we are not like an interfaith grab bag. Okay, like we love people of different religions.
Mm-hmm.
We love people of different religions, and we welcome different theologies.
Yep.
Like we had our month on pluralism already.
Mm-hmm.
We are a pluralist religion. Pluralism is one of our shared values. We welcome different theologies to be in conversation at our Unitarian Universalist table. But we're an actual religion.
I'm curious what prompted this little spiel, Michael.
He doesn't want to discuss it.
I really shouldn't say. Let's just put it that way. But I am in part reacting to an increased sense in our faith that like we are some interfaith or multi-faith gathering and not a faith at the table. We are a multi-theological gathering.
Ooh, I like that.
There's a very big difference here. We all come together at the same table to practice a set of values together and to share with each other how it is that we approach those values. You know, right? So, for example, we run at the Church of the Larger Fellowship a prison ministry, the Worthy Now Prison Ministry. And our Worthy Now Prison Ministry is a Unitarian Universalist ministry.
Okay.
Right? We welcome in incarcerated people who are discovering, many of them, Unitarian Universalism while they're in prison, and who are discovering that there is a religion that welcomes what they believe and who they are and helps them be better people.
Right.
While they are incarcerated, while they are being dehumanized. And a religion whose theology is actually based in the contention that all of us are worthy of love and respect. Right? No matter what we have done in this world and no matter what we have been accused of doing in this world. And so these folks become Unitarian Universalists through our Worthy Now prison ministry. They don't like engage with us as something else. And so like part of what we share about our prison ministry is that it's a Unitarian Universalist congregation's ministry.
Right.
And I'm going to put in our chat, as soon as I can find what the short link is, you can go to worthynow.org or clfuu.org/worthynow.
Okay.
Same page, and learn about our prison ministry and learn about becoming a pen pal in our prison ministry. We have some 200 members who are still waiting, 240 members in our prison ministry who are still waiting for Unitarian Universalists out in the free world, on the outside, as they say in prison, to sign up to be pen pals with them, to sign up to be letter writers. And we're moving away from the word pen pal because the prison systems are rejecting mail that use the word pen pal. Don't get me started. It's the new thing. It's the new trend in in the ways in which prisons dehumanize and isolate people, that they're actually rejecting the word pen pal in mail. So if we say we have a pen pal ministry, they send the mail back. They don't actually, it never actually gets to our beloveds incarcerated. So we're trying, and the language change is hard for us because pen pal is like plain English, and people understand. So the language change is hard for me too, and I'm trying my best to use the word letter writing ministry. We have 240 people waiting for Unitarian Universalists in the free world to read or write them letters.
Yeah.
Uh,
Reverend Michael, how many incarcerated members do we have at the Church of the
we
Lord
are
Fellowship?
just on the verge of passing 2,000.
That is amazing.
That's incredible.
Which is double what it was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when I started as lead minister at the Church of the co-lead minister at the Church of the Larger Fellowship. It's amazing, but it's 2,000 incarcerated Unitarian Universalists, 240 of whom are waiting to get your pen pal application. So if you are a Unitarian Universalist out there and feel like writing a letter a month is something you might be able to do, and actually forming a relationship with someone who is part of your faith, who is caged by our society, who is locked up, who is being dehumanized by our carceral system, I invite you to apply to be a pen pal because we really need you. But we also need you. We need you to help our incarcerated members learn what it means to live Unitarian Universalism in this world. Right? So, what does it mean? You will learn something. I'm talking to y'all out there. You out the outside will learn something. If you ask the question, what does it mean to live the value of justice in a prison? What does it mean to create beloved community in a prison? What does it mean to help people thrive in a system that is designed for the exact opposite? Right? Our carceral system is designed to eliminate thriving. Right? What's the opposite of thriving? It's designed to dehumanize and kill people. Right? Like, let's just be real. And so our members are trying to help other people thrive. They're trying to find a religion that helps them thrive when everything around them is working against them. Right?
Right.
And so I'm trying to bring it back to our justice theme.
Well, Reverend Michael, I mean, are you trying to preach my sermon for this Sunday? Like,
I am not. Now you have to preach something else, Dante.
No, I refuse. We're just going to reiterate.
Darby can hear it twice.
Yes, Darby's going to hear it twice anyway because she's going to come Sunday and Monday.
So there we go. Darby can hear it 3 times.
At least she does it for me. I don't know if she does it for everyone, but I feel special when I see her on Mondays. But yeah, so this Sunday I'm preaching Justice at the Margins. And for you Trekkies Trekkies, I haven't been a Trekkie most of my life, but in the last couple of years, I started consuming the outer space sagas. So the Star Wars movies, I've finally seen them all. And so this year I went through my Star Trek phase.
Okay.
And I watched the show, Star Trek Discovery series, which is pretty fucking awesome. Where the black woman becomes a captain, and there's a whole lot goes on in there. Lots of theological reflection in Discovery. But there was a component in one of the episodes. So her adopted mother would always read Alice in Wonderland to her, right? And so there's a point where she's going through something, and she talks about. Sometimes she does these voiceovers, like where it's like memories, and she was like, and she's sort of reciting passages of Alice in Wonderland, and she's reminding herself sometimes you have to remember that that down is up and up is down, and that, like in this world, you have to adjust your perceptions because things are not as you were taught that they are. And I think there's so much about when we think about justice and we think about people who live at the margins of society, we keep expecting people at the margins to think of justice the same way people who live at the center do. And I think that that's a mistake. Because people at the margins have to remember that up is down and down is up. Right? And so justice from the margins, I think, looks differently than for those who live at the center. And I think it has to, because in the center, I mean, how do we expect justice out of a system that was designed to foster injustice? Like, it doesn't, like, people at the center is like, the system works. Like, okay, you can live in that illusion because.
Well, it works. It works the exact way it was designed to work.
So, Dante, before we get deep into this, I want to answer Nicole's question.
Yes.
Church of the Larger Fellowship offers worship on Sunday and Monday, Sunday evening Eastern time and Monday afternoon Eastern U.S. Canada time. And the Monday worship is a rebroadcast, but with live community. So Dante is in the chat with people and creating community, and so the actual worshiping community is live with each other, and it's made more special that way. We also all of our
so it's like movie night.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, so it's a we rebroadcast Sundays service, but there's a live person. It's me or Jody Malloy usually that's hosting in the chat.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that way,
I wondered how you did that.
European members, it's more time friendly for them because we do it at 1 p.m. Eastern, which is, instead of 8 p.m. Eastern, which is like not convenient.
4 a.m.
So our members in like Australia and New Zealand and Japan come to Sunday worship because it's 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday for them. And then our members in Europe come to Monday worship because it's 7 p.m. for them. And we try and make it accessible to people all over the world. Back to justice.
I was on a train a couple of weeks ago, and I heard this woman speaking in a language I did not recognize. She was out in the hallway, and I came around the corner to see what was going on, and it was this woman, and she was FaceTiming with her mother in Turkey while she was holding the phone so the woman could see, so her mom could see, the middle of the U.S., the middle of the North American continent rolling by, with the steps and the mesas and it was just, and I don't know what she and her mother were saying, but they sounded very happy. And I just, stepped around her and wished her mom well and went down to find coffee. But she said her mother, it was 9 a.m. when I saw her, and it was like 9 p.m. in Turkey or something horrid.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Timey-wimey.
But we try to make space for everybody. That's part of what justice calls us to do, right? That's part of what pluralism calls us to do, is to and Reverend Mike, I just wanted to go back to this notion that being a Unitarian Universalist is not we're not an anything goes tradition.
Oh, hell no.
And I feel like there are a lot of people who've been in the faith longer than me who honestly think it's anything goes. It's like, oh, I'm a UU, I can do whatever. Like there's no parameters, there's no...
Technically, you can, but don't think it won't be without consequences.
Oh, you mean like life?
So,
yeah.
Our faith, I think, was dominated. I'm trying to use the right words here. Really, the word I want to use is infected.
Colonized. You know.
for many years by what I called a radical narcissistic hyper individualism.
Mm.
Right?
You mean boomers?
Yeah, kind of. Not to throw
Sorry, did
any
I say that
particular
out loud?
generation in their entirety under the bus, but I think the boomer generation was infected by that same
Right,
virus. So,
right. By
like,
that same illusion that
I want to blame white supremacy culture for the infection, and not the
sure,
generation that was infected. Okay.
right, right. And
Um,
it's that same infection that affects like libertarians who
yeah.
think that
So,
the only person they have to concern themselves with is themselves.
like, we got these notions that we can each build our own theology from scratch
Mm,
without any foundation or
not so
accountability,
much. Mm-mm.
right? And that's not the way it works, right? We're not all starting from scratch, right?
No.
There is a foundation on which we build, and our building is accountable to others in community as
Mm-hmm.
we do it, right? But that accountability, that relationship, was given short shrift for many years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of reminds me in the spiritual communities, like there are a lot of people who practice the craft or earth-based practitioners. There's people who are communal based, and there are people say, I'm a solo practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
And like I guess you can do a lot of things alone, but for me, there is no substitute for building intentional community.
And
Mm-hmm.
Nicole writes in the chat, I want to read her comment. I originally called it a do it yourself religion, but really you have to do it yourself no matter your religion. And I think part of the way I understand Unitarian Universalism is that we do it together.
Yeah.
We have to do it. It's a do it religion.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's that. Right. Yeah.
Like, Unitarian Universalism is necessarily lived in the world.
It is
It's not just
Unitarian Universalism is not a spectator sport.
it's a do it religion.
Yep.
That it is done together. It is done in community. It is done in relationship. It is done with accountability. And that's why DC says, well, you can do what you want, but there are going to be consequences.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah. Like, because you have to have accountability. And this is what beloved community to me means in our justice. I'm trying to bring it back again.
Yeah.
This is what it means to create beloved community, is that we don't throw you out because of something you've done, but we ask that you be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And there might be consequences involved in that accountability. You might have to prove that you are a different person if people are going to trust you again after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, I harm someone and I say I'm sorry.
Ooh,
and I can say I'm sorry, but I have to live I'm sorry in order for it to be real.
That's what Daniel Ruttenberg told us.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a free for all. It can never be a free for all, because every legitimate tradition I can think of has some common things that run through. Some version of karma lives in every tradition. Mm-hmm. What you put out there coming back, baby. One way or another, it's coming back. So
gravity, man, goes up, comes down.
I was socialized in Black Baptist Christian traditions, and Christians love to, like, you just throw out there, forgive me, Jesus, and then whatever you did is forgiven. And I'm like, I don't trust that. I don't trust cheap forgiveness. Forgiveness requires changed behavior. So people like, you can forgive people and not forget. No, I can't forgive you if you've not demonstrated, if you've not acknowledged what you did, seek to and put yourself on a path to make amends, how are you asking me for forgiveness before you've done those two things? That doesn't mean it's not even mine to give until you do those things. You have to acknowledge and you have to make amends.
And like if Jesus were still talking, he'd probably say that.
Well, I'm here.
Forgive me, Jesus. Well, have you changed?
Right?
So yeah, it's not a free for all. So I think, this notion of justice. I think you, Reverend Michael, you and I have talked about this. I wrestled with this notion of universal salvation because, again, as a person whose ancestors were kidnapped and trafficked across the ocean and put on plantations for 400 years, or prisons, that's what they were. I was like, that concept of universal salvation, I find a little anti-karmic in the sense like, do you get to do all these horrible things in the world and not have a consequence? And I think what that pushed me to is, and I don't know if I have an answer to that, but what it did push me to is that I don't know how I feel about universal salvation, but what I do know is I believe in universal worthiness. So that's
Can you say more? Can you say more about that?
I don't think you can be saved from your consequences. I think you must pay for your consequences one way or another. And not that I have to give them to you, the universe is going to give them to you. If energy cannot be created nor destroyed, it only changes forms. If you put shit out into the world, it is coming back. I believe it. I believe in that. And I don't think I can save you from that.
Okay.
But what I do believe in is universal work, that we are all worthy. We are all worthy of existing. We're all worthy of all of the wonderful gifts of what it means to be embodied creatures in this world, right? Because we're energy that with body. Not all energy has bodies. So I think we're here to enjoy that.
Do you want my universalist theology hot take of the week?
Come on.
Oh, please.
I have been mulling over this, and I'm struggling with this, and it is not fully formed, and it might be a book. All right, this might be the book that I have to write.
Okay.
Just so we're clear. So for years, our universalist ancestors were divided into the ultra-universalists and the restorationists. Right? Ultra-universalists said that upon our death, we are immediately reconciled to the glory of God by a love that we cannot even fathom the power of. Right? And our restorationist ancestors said, upon our death, we are punished commensurate with the amount of sin in our life for a finite amount of time, after which we are admitted to heaven. Right?
That's the Guido Sarducci version. Right. Okay.
And I'm going to get 100 people telling me that I have misrepresented the two strains of universalism. Well, go for it. Engage with me in that way. I would love the conversation. And I have long held that restorationism, as it was framed by our restorationist ancestors,
Aidan Ballou and those guys,
is a failure of theological imagination.
Woo!
Held that no God worth worshiping would punish people even after their death, right? And that the God that is worth worshiping has to be a love so powerful that I, as a human, cannot even imagine it. And that the inclination to punishment is a human inclination and not a God inclination. Okay. And I have been wrestling that has been my contention for a while. Restorationists, you can all argue with me over that. And I'm filtering my universalism through an abolitionist lens,
Okay.
right? Because I, as an abolitionist, do not believe that punishment is the appropriate response to sin or the appropriate automatic response to sin, right? There need to be consequences in human society if people do things that are outside of our covenant. And the more I learn about restorative justice, the more I realize that restorative justice should be what restorationism is based on. You notice they use the same word. And that what if God engages people in restorative processes that reconcile us with what we have done wrong? Instead of you get a little bit of hell, you get burned for a little while until the sins are burned off of you. What if you are required? What if our souls are required by the love that is God to engage in restorative practices after our death?
That still sounds punishment-ish.
Well, it is actually like reconciling us to the harm we have caused in relationships. And I don't know how that works. I don't know how it works.
I have ideas, but I want to hear what Dante says first.
I believe in a God whose inclination is punishment.
Okay, so here's my thing. As also a humanist, a spiritual humanist, I'm an energetic, spiritual, mystical humanist. Is it, I think we put too much on our concepts of God and the devil or evil or Satan or lower vibration, lower self, whatever language we use. Because the beautiful thing about karma is very humanistic, and it doesn't discriminate. Karma says what you put out is coming back. And so that's just, because whatever you put in the world will return to you one way or another. And if that's all of us, that's not punishment, it's consequence. It's cause and effect. Now, I do think historically people have misused interpretations of that to justify bullshit, like the enslavement of my ancestors, right? Like, oh, the Africans were cursed. Well, but look who's saying it. You never heard of the curse of Ham, DC?
Oh no, I know. I'm just grumpy.
Invented by people, seeking to oppress people who were seen as descendants of Ham.
Right. It was a solution. Solution in search of a problem.
Yeah, so people will make up things. So yeah, I've stopped trying to, I believe in karma. So I'm at a place where I stopped trying to, I am trying to release needing to be the agent of get back, right? Like, and trusting.
Yeah.
When I talk about my faith, it is, I trust the universal principle of karma. I trust that if someone is out to intentionally harm me, whether I know it or not, the universe the universe sees what I cannot see. The universe knows what I do not know. And I'm going to trust that, just like my own good deeds, and I think this is when we talk about justice, from the margins, I can't afford to believe the justice system of the United States is where my justice is going to come from. That's foolish. My justice has to come from
to say the least.
Yes. My justice has to come from somewhere else. And so, but this is one of the reasons that empires crumble. I think karma, like, because they can't sustain, and they usually crumble from the inside. It's not even somewhat outside. It's usually it usually decays from the inside because the empire could not live up to its own standards that it was using to oppress other people. So for me, it's a universal justice principle.
We've got a comment from Amy who says it's hard for me to have faith in karma because of all the rich that never have any. People like Musk and Trump will never see a day's karma in their lives. And so I wonder, like, where do we think their payback is going to come from for the harm that they do?
That's the part that I was thinking about. On my best days, I am an ultra universalist because I don't think the divine or the spirit world deals in linear measurements of time the way humanity does. So either God's all loving and all powerful or God's not. And I think, like Michael said, that the urge for punishment is a human urge. And I go home from work every day and I have something that Trump and Musk and all the others will never have, which is
integrity.
Enough. Which is enough.
So
I have enough. Well, hang on, I'm not done.
Okay, go on.
So I go home and my heart is okay, right? We don't know, and I can only imagine the edges of the torment that must be in the hearts and spirits of these people who are doing such evil things. And we don't. I wrote down here, which I'm still thinking about if I want to use these words, but I'm gonna. So here we go. We don't get to be voyeurs to someone else's hell. Right, which I think is a large part of sort of the origins of hell. Is how attractive it is to us to think that we can look over the fence and look down at the others. We can feel special, right? And I think living in that spiritual poison soup that those folks are in, they might be getting their punishment now. We just don't recognize it as that. Because like the three of us, I'm imagining, can go home at night and be like, I did my best. It wasn't perfect, but that's okay. And I'll get up and do it again tomorrow, right? And we do it with a thought of kindness and love and compassion and justice and all that other stuff. And you got to know in your heart that those guys do not do that. They are not capable of that.
Or even DC, on days when we can't say that, I didn't do my best. It's
still enough.
I have to make amends.
Right.
I have to do better.
Yeah. Yes.
But be okay with that and still go to sleep.
And I want to merge this conversation with karma with Reverend Michael's notion of a lack of imagination around what happens when we go. Because to me, at least where I'm at on my journey now, is I marry my concept of karma with the concept of reincarnation for me. Because now these things help me make sense out of something like universal. That's not about me punishing, me deciding. But what if, just like we have these institutions, learning institutions, we go. If you don't learn the lessons you're supposed to learn in that grade, what happens? You have to repeat it.
Right.
Right? And what is more hellish than having to keep repeating something over and over till you surrender to the truth of the lesson, till you surrender to the wisdom of the lesson. And it's not something that anyone else is making for you. If you watched, anyone watched the American Horror Story season with the witch, the first witch season, or it's the second witch season, where they talk about hell, whatever hell is what is hell to you. So there was this one girl, she was like a superstar, she was an actress, she was snotty, she was bratty, and so her hell was she was trapped in like a Gap store, retail store, having to fold clothes and deal with customers like every day, all day. Like she was trapped in this life of mundane shit that she thinks is below her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of notion, like, yes, what if we're here to learn lessons? And because energy cannot be created or destroyed, it only changes forms. When we leave here, maybe we do have to come back to pick up the lessons we didn't get the first time.
Mm.
And then once we get all of our lessons, maybe we can again get to know what it's like to be energy without bodies. Maybe our bodies are here to help the energy understand something that energy can't understand unless it's inside of a body. So it's it's my sort of quantum futuristic take.
As a wise duo of folk singers once said, how long till our soul gets it right?
Yeah. But now here's the other thing I would like to offer too, because I heard the thing about like the rich people, the Trumps, the Musks, the 1% who are trying to puppeteer the rest of our lives. Number one, just because they have money and power does not mean that they're not happy. And many of us know lots of people with lots of money and lots of power, they're miserable. So we know that money does not equal joy. It does not equal peace. It does not equal happiness. But what if, because I'm trying to make this accountable to my experience as a Black person in America. And I keep thinking, but if I believe in karma, shouldn't white people be getting their asses whooped? Like, white people should be getting their asses handed to them right over left. Now, here's for my earth-based spirit practitioners. But what if empire is really just really high-level spell work, high-level illusion work, high-level witchcraft? Because empire's number one strength, we think it's violence and domination, but really its number one power is fear. Number one, it teaches us to be afraid of death. That's why powerful people are obsessed with immortality, because
it's the one thing they can't control.
Right, they don't know what's going to happen to them. So if you notice, the rich and the powerful are they're always obsessed with immortality. Like, how do I extend this life? Because they don't know what's waiting for them on the other side. And then again, my ancestors was like, shit, I'm ready to go home and be with the Lord. Because I know what's waiting. Like, I know that this is not it. And I know there's more for me on this other side. So, again, I don't have all the answers, but I love that I'm in a tradition where we can have these conversations.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
And where we can disagree.
Yeah.
Like,
without condemning anybody to anywhere.
Yes.
I think it's beautiful. It's why I'm a Unitarian Universalist.
It's like when I first started studying Judaism and I discovered Midrash, I was like, holy argumentation? We can disagree and it's holy and sacred? We can argue? Sign me up. And that's one thing I love about this tradition is that we have sacralized disagreement. We've sacralized multiplicity, plurality. Like, it doesn't all have to be the same view.
And so, going back to the infection, right? White supremacy culture teaches us to sacralize our individual opinion in those disagreements, and the process of disagreeing and discussing and being in a relationship,
Yes.
right? That is what is actually sacred,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is being in a relationship and disagreeing and learning from one another and making each other think in new ways, making each other feel in new ways, making each other experience the world in new ways because we've shared our experience
Yeah.
with them. It's not my opinion is holy.
Mm-hmm.
So here's an interesting thing. Um, I did a memorial service this weekend for a member of my congregation here in Auburn, and this guy was like he was one of those people that lived life heart first.
Mm,
Like he lived enough for any three people, I swear, my God. Um, and my thought was, what would be his happiest version of an afterlife? And to me, it was someplace where he would always have things to learn and challenges to strive at. And one
mm,
of the interesting things about being able to learn and being curious requires a certain level of humility, of spiritual humility,
Mm-hmm.
to approach this process open to the notion that I might be wrong,
Yeah.
right? And if whatever you've got going on for a philosophical or theological framework does not allow for the potential for new information that
Mm-hmm.
might counter what you're working with,
Yeah.
then you're operating from a defensive posture
Mm-hmm.
and not from one that is open and curious and forward thinking.
Yes. 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 And I
Okay.
think this is like, so when I think about, I come from a group of people who practice who believed in ancestors, right?
Right.
We often prayed for both the ancestors, we invoked ancestors, and we invoked the unborn. Because our tradition said that the past, the present, and the future, the separation between these are illusions.
mhm,
Like
Okay.
because time space and quantum physics is telling us this, right? Time space time is just space time. It's not this linear thing that we make it linear so that we can function,
Wibbly
but
wobbly,
it's
timey
not,
wimey stuff.
because this is the present. But at what second does the present become the future? Like the present is always becoming the future, and the past is always becoming the present. And and every
Mm-hmm.
time I remember something, I'm in the past, right? So
and every breath we take
yes,
connects us to everyone who ever has been and
Right.
everyone who ever will be,
yeah,
right? So
That's just
all
the
of the
coolest thing.
and all of the descendants.
yes.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
like, what if, when I talked about this notion of spell, like, what if empire is it's like a really big spell,
Mm,
and the reason that, and I say why white people may not be catching hell the way they ought to by a karmic standard, is that the purpose of this spell keeps us all so distracted, exhausted, spent, that we are not able to perceive that this is that there's an
The magic.
imperial illusion, the magic
Right.
that's operating.
Right.
Because what is stereotypes? That's a spell. You're just going to keep speaking these things over certain people all the time, so that even people who don't know these people now believe that's who those people are, right?
Okay. Yep.
beloveds, you have given me so much to chew on. Karma and not being able to be voyeurs to other people's hell.
That was it, DC.
I might have to make a T-shirt of that.
Yeah. because
You got it. I want to be credited on
because I
that.
think that's what abolition says. Is when I hear y'all talk about abolition, what I hear is, as a person who believes in karma, is if a person has done some harm, they're going to have to address it one way or another. And what part of, and why do I need to see it, or why do I need to feel it? So why is it so important for me to get to see you get your lick?
Well, with that, beloveds, we are going to end about 5 minutes early because DC and I have places to be at 1 sharp, and we need to like wind this puppy down. We will see you next week. Hopefully, Aisha.
Like my brain is full and tired.
Isn't it? Like I need to like digest.
Amazing, right?
I love my community.
I need to digest some of this and absorb it.
Yeah.
I love you both.
All right,
everybody.
See you next week, folks. All righty. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us. Special thanks to everyone who gives generously to this ministry. It is because of you that this ministry is possible.
Visit clfuu.org/give to make a contribution.
We hope you will join us next week for another episode